Hey everyone, you're watching The Esperanza 243. I apologize for the long delay of putting up Long Live Menavia Part 4. I've been having technical difficulties with using my webcam through the Windows Movie Maker. I think because I haven't really done a Logitech update on my webcam. So, at least in a while, and I don't know how to get the thing back. So, if any of you have any idea how to get the updater thing to come back, let me know. Anyways, I'm just giving you guys a quick little update, and then I'm going to go straight to the book because I don't really have much time until my ride picks me up. Today is Saturday. I have my bowling practice. Last week's bowling practice was pretty terrible, but what was really cool is that I got my, there it is. What's really cool is that my, the volunteer coach that was helping me out with my, bowling aim, I mean, really I was doing fine with what I had, even though I kept turning to the left. But she is helping me improve better, which is really neat because I do want to improve my bowling aim. And what's really cool is that the volunteer coach is actually an old professor of mine. She taught public speaking. I think she still does. But the thing is, I had no idea it was her until I saw her name tag. Of course, back then she used her full name. Now she just shortened her first name. Used to be Mary Grace, but now it's just Grace. Which is pretty as well. Which is also pretty. I like both names. Anyways, I used to bowl like this. Or like this. Now she's getting me to bowl like this. Whereas opposed to doing this, she's teaching me how to do this. Which is really neat because she says that the way your hand is cupped like that, it helps you aim better. Of course, I gotta have my thumb vertical so I don't screw up the ball turning. It just cracked me up, though, that she wanted me to do it like this. Because it made me think of, not just Spider-Man, but it made me think of a movie called Escape to Witch Mountain, the Disney version. Not Race to Witch Mountain, Escape to Witch Mountain. It came out in the 90s. There we go. It came out in the 90s, and there's a guy in there, I don't really remember his character name, but he's always wearing purple. And so at the end of the movie, he's like doing this, calling to his twin brother on the other side, doing that specific, hand pose. So every time I use that bowling aim, I'm thinking of that movie. Cracks me up. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because time crunch here. Eventually I will be doing another, video that's not book reading. I'm thinking of doing a karaoke of one of my favorite songs. I'm not sure if I've done it yet. Either that or I'm going to do a lyric video of one of my uncle's songs. I was hoping to do it, in order of the album, even though I've already done a couple of the songs that are not, in order. So I'm going to try to do that at least before, I'm going to try to do some of that at least before the year is over. I'd like to finish the album by then, though. Anyways, let's get to the reading. Not much time, I should say. Shoot. And I know this is going to take 13 minutes. Frick. Well, like I said, we'll have time by then. Neurosonic. Tastes like chew tablets, but Supposedly it's good for you. Okay, here we go. Long Live Menavia, Part 4. On the other side of the street, a man was confused. It looked as if he lost a friend. He kept looking around, even across the street. The man noticed the lost newlyweds. He crossed the street as he kept an eye on them. He tapped on the husband's shoulder. "Are you lost?" he asked. The husband stared at him in confusion. The man became frustrated and realized they only spoke a certain language. "Parlez-vous anglais?" Translation, of course, do you speak English? The man shook his head. The wife looked at him. Suddenly, the man's face brightened a bit. The wife was not bad looking. She was very pretty. "Hotel?" she asked. Obvious translation, hotel. He continued staring at her in awe as he pointed to the hotel, which was a few buildings away. When the newlyweds walked off, the man gazed at the wife in admiration, but his eyes grew hungry. Marie was not too far, gazing upon artifacts in booths and stores. She suddenly bumped into that man. She gasped and looked up at him. "I apologize," she gasped. He smiled. "It is fine. I wasn't looking." She smiled foolishly. "I wasn't looking either." She looked around nervously. I guess I shall be off then." She turned and went back to where she and Caprice separated. By the way, if you hear music in the background, it's because it's playing in the living room on stereo. Alright. 2 days later, Marie and Caprice decided to go to the market again. They went to the same area as before. This time, Marie ended up walking by the area with different sized swords. The man who presented the swords recognized Caprice and realized she was with her mother. He smiled. She stayed with her mother. Although when she and Caprice went off in other directions, Marie made sure she was in sight. Not too far, there was a man who was looking through the crowd. Who knows how he got it, but he was wearing an American cowboy hat, which made him look quite dashing. The hat made him stand out in the crowded market as well. Suddenly, his eyes perked with interest. He saw who he was looking for, and he was excited. Further down his way was a woman. She was wearing a pretty day dress with a floral bonnet. With it particularly sunny, she had a classic fan open and was fanning herself. He looked next to her and saw her husband standing next to him. The man grunted. Her husband looked at her. "Caroline, I shall be right back. There is something I need further down the street," he told her in French. She nodded. The man walked up to her. "Bonjour, Mrs." He tugged on his hat in greeting her. She recognized the man who helped her and her husband at finding the hotel earlier that week. She looked away with an uncomfortable feeling. "Oh, bonjour," she said politely. "Is there something you need? Is there something you need?" He raised his eyes. "You do speak English?" "Yes, I speak some," she said, nodding. "I prefer French. I like sticking to one language. But I believe speaking another language has its benefits. He nodded in agreement. What do you need? He looked at her with a keen look, but his eyes gave her an uneasy feeling. It's not really a need, more of a want. She sighed in annoyance. What do you want, then? How about we go somewhere in private? I'll tell you then. She became shocked. I'm not willing to go anywhere with a stranger, even if they helped me at one point. What do you want? The man wrapped his arm around her waist and pulled her toward him. Her chest pressed against his. She could feel something pushing through her dress. She gasped. Her pulse was racing with fear, as his pulse raced with hunger. His grip around her told her that. She didn't like what he was doing. How dare you! How dare you! She closed her fan. I am married, she said as she carefully slapped him with her fan. He looked around. Some people looked at them, but then they would go back to their business. The man looked into her eyes. What she felt continued digging into her dress. I would gladly take any lady, but not one is present that I adore, except you. She shivered and became stern. I will not swoon to you. All of a sudden, the man kissed her firmly. She became startled. She tried to pull away. His firmness in the kiss weakened her. Just to let you all know, this is going to PG-13. She began to kiss back, but realized her husband could arrive at any moment and tried to pull away. He kissed her more deeply. His tongue licked her bottom lip. Her pulse raced more as she opened her mouth in shock and pleasure. His tongue entered her mouth and moved around. She continued pulling away, but he tightened his grip. The woman was afraid and became worried as she switched from pulling away to melting in his arm. She switched back and forth quite a few times. She worried more when he wouldn't let her go after a long while. Marie was nearby and happened to overhear their conversation. She observed what happened when they became silent. When it became apparent the woman was worried and wanted to get away from him, Marie tapped on the man's shoulder. He became confused and parted from the kiss he gave to Caroline, but kept her pressed against him. He looked at Marie. What is it? It appears you are confusing the lady with what she wants. Perhaps you could give her a moment to collect what you gave her. He gave her a rude look. Maybe I should have given her my kiss in a private matter. Marie became antsy and impatient. Sir, you are not considering how she is feeling right now. Perhaps you should leave her be. I lost track. Perhaps you should leave her be. He slapped her in the face with a free hand. Who told you to get involved? Caprice saw the slap and came closer. Marie saw her. Stay there, dear, she called. She looked back at the man. Sir, the woman is neither your girlfriend nor your wife. Perhaps you should let her go and leave before her husband returns. The wife remembered her and was pleased with her help. She placed one hand under her dress belt and another on her belt buckle. She began unbuckling the belt. Marie noticed what she was doing. She became confused, but looked back at the man. Please, sir, consider what you are doing. In public, no less. He gave her an upsetting look. During that, the woman swung back and forth her belt. The next second, she swung it hard like a whip toward him. The belt hit him squarely on the jaw. Surprised, his arm pulled... Why do I keep messing up? Surprised, his arm around her pulled away, slapped her on the cheek, and then pulled out a unique knife from his back pocket, aiming it back and forth to her and Marie. "Mama!" Caprice cried. Why am I stuttering? Soon after, a man on a horse interrupted. He wore a special badge with 8 points. In the middle of the badge, foreign words were placed. Marie recognized it as a law badge. "Is there something going on?" the lawman asked worriedly. She nodded. "There is, this man was kissing a woman here who is not." Suddenly, the man grabbed Marie and pressed the edge of his knife to her neck. Caprice gasped and came closer. Marie gave her a look. She stayed put. "Well now, sir, careful what you're doing," the lawman said. "Put down the knife. We can talk like civil folk. We can do that here. Let's talk like civil folk. We can do that here or down at the precinct." And that's where I'm going to stop. I love cliffhangers, as you may have noticed in my other videos. So I will be uploading this video today on Saturday, and the next video I will be uploading will probably be Monday or Tuesday. If I end up putting a video on here on Tuesday, it'll probably be just sort of like a vlog sort of deal, because one of my best friends might come over, and it'd be really cool if she and I did another vlog video together, because we haven't done that since she left for AmeriCorps last year. Or was it the year before? Yeah, it was last year. That's not possible, because she said it was 10 months. Oh, yeah. That makes sense now. Never mind. So, yeah, my best friend, Anna, she finished her AmeriCorps training. It's really cool. I'm glad she's back. But she misses her friends, her new friends that she made while she stayed there in Colorado and in Arkansas or Arizona, one of the two. I know it starts with AR. And I used to have all the states memorized. So, as I mentioned earlier in the video, or if not, I am going to try to upload, at some point, in the next few months, I'm going to try to upload a different video, karaoke or lyric video. I will try to finish up my uncle's album. I'll probably end up, I think I have the CD somewhere in this room, so I'll play it when next time I'm with my dad, because I bet he knows the words just as well as my uncle. Every time I email my uncle, he doesn't seem to respond. He only checks his email once a month, which is weird. Anyways, enough babbling about my family. I will see you guys in a few days. Let's check how much time is left. Yeah. That's a weird look on me. Ah, geez, I'm a goofball. Oh, and just to let you guys know, this is after practice. The scores I got were like 57 and 43. Terrible scores. I honestly don't know what was going on with me today. I guess I'm still trying to get used to, you know, the new practice moves that I'm working on. Ah! Alright, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. This is D'Agostino May 243 signing off.